Hello art superstars and welcome. Today we are going to be creating a fun face or a self-portrait as we call it, using a paper plate, some printmaking like we did last week, and a little bit of collage and playing with different textures as well from different surfaces and dry foods. So what you're going to need for today is a paper plate like this, some acrylic paints or poster paints, some PVA glue. If you don't have any PVA glue at home, you can make some using equal quantities of water and flour. Some different paint brushes if you like, those are optional for painting, but you'll want one for your PVA glue to spread it, glue spreader. So adults, you'll want some dry food for this, and some potatoes, lemons, vegetables that you can make different prints with. I use things that are quite close to their use by date or past their best, so I'm not wasting food. I've got a bit of pasta here. Red lentils work really nicely, so dry food. Potatoes, like I say, things which are past their best. New potatoes are really good. I've got a lemon that I've already squeezed. That works really nicely. Things like broccoli, celery, peppers work really well. Spaghetti, anything like that. Anything you can dip in paint and make a mark from, or sponges. Straws work really nicely. And bits of string as well, bits of string or wool or thread that we can use for the hair are fantastic. So just have a rummage about and see what you can find that you'd like to stick on and use as part of the artwork. And this is optional, but bits of coloured paper, ripped out from magazines, newspaper, paper bags, sweet wrappers, anything like that we can use as well. And I think we're ready to begin. Oh, and masking tape as well. If you've used the masking tape on the previous week's lessons, if you want, this is something you can use for today's session. And as well, if you have a look under the video, there's a downloadable sheet with the instructions on and some material ideas. Also, I've included some pictures of portraits by an artist called Pablo Picasso, just to give you some inspiration and ideas for colours, and different shapes which you can apply. Okay, I'm just going to move the camera down like this. There we go. Okay, perfect. So I've got my paper plate, and what I'm going to do first, I'm going to think about my facial features, what I'm going to put on the plate. So I've got two eyes, one nose and a mouth. So I know I want to put those on my face. I think I'm going to make a different face today. So for the eye shapes, I'm going to go with something round. I'm going to go with a baby new potato for this. And you could use anything. You could use the straw dipped in paint and create a shape, or paint the eyes on. However you want to do that. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to use some blue paint because I've got blue eyes. So I'm going to paint on. And these we can make look like ourselves. We can make them as portraits, or it could just be a fun face which you make up. That's up to you. There we go. So I've just painted that potato. Or you can dip it straight in the paint if you prefer. And I'm going to put two. I'm going to print it twice in the middle of my plate. I'm going to press down for a few seconds. Remove. There we go. There's one eye. And I'm going to put a bit more paint on for my second eye. One and two. Press, press, press. Remove. And there we go, I've got two eye shapes. And for my nose, I'm going to use a slightly larger half potato. And I'm going to paint it orange so it's clear. So I'm going to get some orange paint. And again, for the nose, this could be ripped paper. This could be another vegetable which is painted. we go, and I'm going to put that just below my eyes. Like this, press it down and remove it. I've got my nose. I'd quite like to put 2 nostrils in my nose, so I'm going to use my paintbrush and I'm going to use a little dab of red paint, and I'm just going to do 2 marks like that. Now for the mouth, we might want to do like a banana shape, happy face. We could paint that down or glue something down. For this one I made earlier, I glued lentils down and then I painted it red. I might try something different this time. I think I'm going to use some dry pasta and see how this comes out. So I've poured some PVA glue into my bowl here, and I'm going to stick some down. Sorry, I'm going to paint with some glue rather. I'm going to do an upwards facing banana shape like that, and then I'm just going to stick the pasta on top, 1 piece at a time. Like I say, if you want to do lentils, for example, you can just sprinkle it on. If you've got any sticks of spaghetti, that works really nicely too. Pop a little bit more glue down so I can fit another piece of pasta in, and when this dries we can paint it. There we go. So the mouth. And you can just arrange with your hands as you please, just to get the shape that you want. We've got quite a big smiley mouth there. Okay, and for the eyes, I'd like to give my person some eyelashes. So I'm going to use my straw. I'm going to dip it in some black paint. So I'm going to pour out some black paint. It's going to very gently dip the end in, like this. And just gently, I'm using a paper straw, so they bend quite easily, so I need to be very gentle as I do this. I'm just going to press down like this to make some eyelashes. Or another thing that would work well for this, you could just use a paintbrush, do some lines, or your fingers, as we did last week when we were doing mark making, or a toothpick. There we go. And I'm going to do a black circle in my eye, which will be the pupil. So I'm just going to get some black paint. I think I'm going to paint that on. I think I'll just do a circle inside the eye. There we go. Now I want to give my person some hair. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some PVA glue. I'm going to stick it down. And for the hair, lots of different things you can use. Maybe think about, if it's a picture of you, what your hair is like. So it might be curly or it might be straight. You might want to do, I've put some lentils on here. If you've got quite short hair, you might want to use some lentils. Or if you've got long hair, if you've got some string or some pasta. So I've got my glue on. I'm just going to stick sprinkle some lentils, and these are dry, so they're nice and hard. Sprinkle some lentils down. Just going to pop some more glue. I'll stick some more lentils. There we go. And I'd continue to fill up the area of the hair depending on whether I want it to be long or short. And if you want to, if you've got some bits of paper, we can rip and cut to add some extra bits on. So you could rip out some eyebrows if you wish. So there we go. So I'm going to put an eyebrow down, and I might do another one in a different colour. I think I'll use a mauve. So again, just rip with my hands, or you're welcome to cut with scissors if you prefer. There we go. And I think I might give the face some cheeks as well. I've got some old wallpaper which I'm going to use. So I'm going to rip out a round shape, and this collage part is extra. You don't have to use the paper collage if you don't want to. I just think it's a nice extra touch. And then you could put one cheek on one side, one on the other. They could be the same, or you might use something different. And then when it's dry, you can add some paint on top. So I'm going to try some different colours. I'm going to try some yellow. I'm going to clean my brush. And then when it's dry, can paint over the top. And you can put different colours on the face as well if you want. You can paint the face or put some different patterns on. There we go, and you could paint the hair, and I'm going to put some red on the mouth. My glue is still wet, so I'm just doing this very, very gently. You might want to wait till yours is dry. And there we go. Once you've finished painting, you'll have your face or your portrait. I hope you've enjoyed the session. Like I say, there's some worksheets below on the website for you to download, and have fun.